Welcome into Extra Time. Let's get in on it. Look how happy Gab and Jan look to be joining us for Extra Time.
Bopping away.
Gab's bopping away. He's feeling it. All right, let's get this one is from Jeremy, and he says, PSG have a young, successful group, no doubt wanting more. Does the standard of Ligue 1 give them an unfair advantage for Champions League? Gab, let me start with you because you look puzzled by this question.
So, this is the age-old question, right? When you've got a dominant team in a league and they do well in Europe, people say, "Oh, look, they have an advantage because they don't have to worry domestically. They just stomp everybody until they're well rested for the European games. The league's not draining, and so on." When you have a dominant team in a league and they do not do well in Europe, well, that's unfair because they pay the price because week in, week out, iron sharpens iron. They're not tested, and so they're not used to playing against better teams, tougher competition. Look at the Premier League. It's so competitive. It's so tough. That's why they do well in Europe. Like, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You can shape this theory any way you like, frankly. I think against some of these teams, when they know they're going to win, it's really hard probably to find the motivation and so on. But, they get motivated to play the Champions League. There's a lot of Champions League games. So, Matt, to answer your question, you can prove this any way you like.
I think absolutely the fact that they've got a young team doesn't give them an advantage. But the one thing about a young player, regardless of what league they're playing in, they're up for every game. They want to play. Yeah. They want to be at the best. They want to score goals. They want to do. When you've got a bunch of experienced guys that PSG used to have, then
they lax off.
They absolutely 100% relax a little bit. It's not quite as intense. And at the end of the day, when you turn around and you have to play a Champions League game, a proper game, not one of the group games where you're playing an underdog, you've got a bona fide competition. You're not quite ready for it. Whereas younger players are ready for it because they don't let it go down. They don't let the standards drop in Ligue 1 just because they're playing a team that they're supposed to beat 4 or 5-0. I think 100% the fact they've got a young group, they will continue to keep that desire in Ligue 1, which will then go into the Champions League.
I think
okay.
No, go ahead,
Shaka. No, go ahead, Shaka.
I was just going to say, I think you talk about Ligue 1 being a weaker league and therefore that playing into PSG's hands. I find that to be a nonsense in all honesty. Let's be honest. PSG have had this oil money for quite some time. Yep. They've won one Champions League. Real Madrid have won 4 or 5 in that same period of time. Liverpool have won a couple in that same period of time.
Even Chelsea have won.
Even Chelsea have won.
They are the best team in the world, remember?
Exactly. So to the point that the weaker league is what has given PSG an advantage, I just don't see that as holding any water.
Jan, you were saying?
I was saying, first of all, we are talking about the second best team in the world here, PSG, losing that final against the best team in the world. But I think maybe, yes, we can compare them with other years, but in a time when we are discussing a lot, what do you do with players, how many games they're going to play a season, that could be, and if you take that side of the story, could be an advantage for a guy like Luis Enrique. Can rest players in some games, but he knows he's going to win those games anyway. Because in Liverpool or the Manchester City races over the years, there is no chance that if you lose one game, that could be your championships. So I do understand that. So maybe this could be an advantage for them with having a lot of national players going straight now from the Club World Cup into the Ligue 1. Next summer, you will have the World Cup. You will have all the qualification games, so that could be an advantage. But wow, we're talking about for many, many years now, there's been a disadvantage for PSG not to have the great games during the week, and then they have to turn up in Champions League. So I guess I'm with Gab. It depends what side you want to bring in on it.
All right, Jeremy, hope that answered your question. Next one coming from Craig's Inner Peace. Ooh.
What? Who's that?
What's
your thing?
I was about to say, I don't know why.
That is wishful thinking. That's like on the level of me hoping that United could win the Premier League next season. Anyways, we move on. Start, bench, drop. Oh, I love these. At their best. Stevie, let me start with you. Luis Diaz, Rodrigo, and Gabriel Martinelli. At their best, start, bench, drop.
Ooh. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Holy smoke.
Well done, Craig's inner piece.
I know which way I'm going.
Well, I'm going to go Luis Diaz, Rodrigo, and Martinelli.
Oh, so you'll start Luis Diaz, you'll
I'm gonna
bench
start with
Rodrigo,
Luis Diaz, yes.
and you're dropping Martinelli.
Yeah, Rodrigo for me has done some good things, but I don't think he's consistently been at a certain level. And Gabriel Martinelli's had one great season at Arsenal and then hasn't quite reached those heights again. So I think Luis Diaz has been way more consistent at a high level, which is why I put him first.
But the
ahead of
question is,
Rodrigo.
at their best, Stevie.
At the best.
It's at their best. It's not who's been consistently better.
Yes, Stephen.
Yeah,
Yes,
yes,
Stevie.
Stevie.
Tough
all right.
book.
I still.
No, that is true, but I guess I don't like that because that means that.
Well, write in your own question.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Every day.
You don't like the question.
Right. Your edited version of the question.
You should have known we were on a slippery slope when it's from Craig's inner piece.
Exactly.
Okay, then answer the question.
Okay, you answered the question. And you're
Luis
standing
Diaz,
by it.
Rodrigo, and Gabriel.
All right, he's not changing. Shaka, you knew yours quickly.
No, I'm still dropping Martinelli, but I'm starting Rodrigo, benching Luis Diaz.
I love that. Some love for Rodrigo. I feel like he gets too much stick, man. Gab, what about you?
I guess at their very, very best, when he's on top of everything, I might go Rodrigo,
Yes.
Luis Diaz, and Martinelli in that order.
Jan, you're in agreement?
On a day when Luis Diaz is coming to our beloved Bundesliga and put him straight on the bench is tough. But as we understand the question, some of us, the Rodrigo's at his best, it will be number one.
How much older than Jan are you? Just out of...
I've got no idea. What are you, Jan? 60 what?
Stevie went to school with my dad, so he's
I was going to say, when you
Let's
get...
just say I was finishing when Jan was starting.
Yeah, exactly. We never played against each
That
other.
explains it. That's the reason why it slightly went over his head. Guys, we have to be sweet and slow with Stevie. It's
Yeah.
okay.
And you're smiling.
I think that would love in my heart.
I wonder what you look with those two front teeth.
Part of my tooth is still floating around in Spain when I fell in the tub. Do you remember? Anyways, all right, from Craig's inner piece to Natum's interior decorator. This one's for Jan. Ooh, favorites. How do you think Leverkusen will do this year with Ten Hag, my boy, as manager?
That is a great question. I've been thinking a lot of this. What we know about Ten Hag is he likes to change things around, and I thought that after Alonso they would kind of go for the same kind of manager, maybe go for a Raul or a Fabregas, that type of coach. But when you see what's happening at Leverkusen with Xhaka out now for Sunderland, Frimpong out, Wirtz out, Radetzky out. There's so many things turning around. Maybe it's good to get a Ten Hag in who did well for Ajax. He also has his experience from Bayern Munich, where he worked under Guardiola there when he was there. And he will say also that he won some titles for Manchester United. So I hope that Ten Hag will do well with Leverkusen. But for me, when I do the prediction of this league, the Bundesliga later, this is one of my biggest question mark in the top 6-7 teams.
Nobody else giving Ten Hag a little more hope?
It's for Jan.
I know, but you guys can chime in. You always chime in.
No.
Nobody.
It says
May
for
I
Jan.
remind you, he won trophies at Manchester United, which is no easy feat.
That's all you wanted to. You just wanted to say that.
I'm just saying.
That's all.
I'm just saying that.
That's got nothing to do with the question. Nothing to do with the question. You just wanted to say that Manchester United won trophies once upon a time. That's all.
Erik Ten Hag's Red Army. Anyways, how far we have fallen. This one's body spray by Stevie Nickel. I'm not sure I want that.
Hey.
I'm kidding. Of course I would, Stevie.
Body
Stevie.
spray of Steve Nicol. That is. So you asked for body spray by a granddad, which is you called him granddad.
I don't use
not
spray.
me.
Well, he is a granddad, so it's just factual comments.
Yeah. I don't use a spray anyway. I use a roll-on.
Oh, no cologne, nothing? This explains a lot. We move on. Stevie, this question's for Stevie. In coaching, Stevie, where would you place the percentage dial between the importance of tactical aspects versus group management, leadership, aka the intangibles?
Oh, group management, leadership, and intangibles.
Straight up, that's your priority.
Listen, you can talk about tactics to players all day long. Some of them are just too stupid and too thick to understand what you're talking about.
Name them.
And so at the end of the day, you want your players to have the desire and be together and all those other things. That'll take you through. You know, tactics will take you a certain distance, but all the other stuff will carry you absolutely across the finish line.
Shaka, were you one of those players that fell asleep in tactical meetings, or it just didn't
I
penetrate?
didn't have anything to do with that. I listen to tactics.
He says sometimes there's some daft players that you just can't get through to. Where
Yeah, but I'm a goalie. I'm booting the ball in the stand when it comes back to me. I'm not worried about tactics.
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. We had a player who played for the MLS All-Stars against Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. I was coaching the team. And I brought this player on and I showed him on a diagram where to stand at corners against, right?
This still has you fired up. I love it.
Honestly. And where he was supposed to stand was at the top of our box, in where the old half circle is.
Yeah.
So that if the ball's knocked out, he can help us defensively. But if it's knocked out further, he actually can go on the counter-attack. I said, are you good? He said, yes. I said, on you go. The opposition, Real Madrid, got a corner. And guess where he stood? On the halfway line, on the half circle, on the halfway line. So I'm turning to Morris. Morris Johnson was my assistant. And I'm going, Morris.
Who is that player?
I believe where this guy
I know who it was.
Who is that
I
player?
know.
We started shouting him. We're going, and he's like, what? What? He had no idea. Honestly.
Name him.
No.
Oh, coaches
I
union.
will give you names on the team meeting, and I think I told the story before. Where Brian Robson, the manager of Middlesbrough, he had an instruction for Fabrizio Ravanelli, my roommate at the time at Middlesbrough, and he needed a translator. So Brian Robson was talking about the tactic to Fabrizio, and this guy was sitting next to me. He was Quantala, Botella, Bolela, and he was doing all this stuff. And so he said, sorry, Gab, about my Italian.
Gab is disaster.
I think he just ordered a pizza there, didn't he?
But it was a quite simple question for Fabrizio. Do you understand what I want you to do? And Fabrizio went out in the worst rant that I've ever heard in my life in Italian. And when he was finished with his rant in this team meeting, the translator turned to Robson and said, yes, okay. So he was okay with that.
I think he censored it very, very well. All right, next question now, shall we? At a major tournament, your country doesn't qualify for, which seems to happen a lot for you guys, unfortunately. Wow, shots fired. Whose country are you talking about? Anyways, who do you root for? Do you pick someone ahead of time or just see who captures your eye after the tournament starts? I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of right though, because we do have trouble. Our countries are having trouble qualifying for tournaments. Probably save for Gab, because obviously Italy still is a powerhouse, but they have some questionable times too. So who do you root for, Gab, when Italy doesn't qualify?
Well, when it comes to Euros, okay, we did win one, but recently, but no, I've had that dilemma many times. Of course, missing out on the last two World Cups, or giving other teams a chance to win it. People who, all those sad countries that don't have 4 stars on their shirt. That's how I like to think of it. No, for me, it's just a personal choice. From I grew up partly in Japan, so I always find myself supporting Japan, and I have long had a soft spot. People know this for Nigeria. And the Super Eagles and that green shirt going all the way back to the 1994 World Cup. So those are normally the two teams, and then it kind of progresses from there, and it's kind of whoever's playing against Germany. Ultimately, that's what I root for.
Love that. Yad, what about you?
Well, we qualified in 1994. That was the first time Norway qualified since 1938. So I was very used to support other teams during a World Cup. I was connected to England, but I was also connected to Germany. 74 and 78, England won at the championship at the World Cup. So I followed West Germany at that time. But I made a change in 82 because I was in love with Paolo Rossi. So I was one of the few people that wanted Italy to beat Brazil, that fantastic Brazil team. But Rossi scored 3 goals, fantastic goals. And then, of course, Tardelli at the final, the goal celebration, I mean, wow. And then they beat West Germany that I have supported before. So sometimes it's on a feeling that it's a player or a team that you love.
I love how Jan had to say it with the hands. When you're talking Italian and saying Italian names, you have to bring up the hands, don't you? Shaka, what about you? Because you and I with Trinidad and Jamaica, we're pretty much in the same boat.
We are.
But in the Caribbean, a lot of us support Brazil. Growing up, so
absolutely.
that would be my choice for sure.
First of all, if Trinidad and Tobago isn't there, I'm thinking Caribbean, primarily Jamaica as the only likely qualifier for any other major tournament. If Jamaica isn't there, I'm then thinking Brazil, one of the African countries. Of the European countries, England and France are my go-tos.
Shaka, you support England?
Yeah.
We will speak about that another day. Stevie, you definitely don't support England.
Anybody who's playing England, I'm rooting for.
And beating them even more.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah. That's the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I knew that. But anybody else that catches your eye at least? Because he does say anybody.
Brazil.
Yeah, of course.
Norway.
Really?
Yeah, I used to for about
Just throwing in Italy while you're at it.
Yeah.
For about 3 or 4 years.
We're in Jamaica
I did some
too.
coaching
We're
in
in
Norway.
Jamaica,
Had a great time in Oslo.
Oh.
So I've got a kind of a wee soft spot. And we used to go there a lot pre-season with Liverpool. I've got a little soft spot for Norway.
Oh.
In the Caribbean, who are you supporting? Jamaica or Trinidad and Tobago? Just saying. I was always your #1 fan, Stevie. Come on, Stevie, it's not that hard.
Sorry, Shaq, that swung it.
Hey! Stevie, you are welcome to Jamaica always. Next question now is for Gab. Percentage chance that Napoli will repeat as champions this upcoming campaign? Will my Scott McTominay be happy again?
You know what? Right now, I kind of make them favorites to do it again. I like what Inter have done, but obviously Christian Kivu is going to be a question mark this season. It's pretty much inevitable. Antonio Conte was able to add to the team, and I know there's this perception of Antonio Conte year 2, he screws things up, and we don't know how he's going to balance that between that and the Champions League. But right now, yeah, I think you have to consider them as slight favorites. They've added depth. He has a very clear idea of what he wants from the team. I don't expect McTominay to be as good as he was last year, but he doesn't need to. And I am so looking forward to Kevin De Bruyne's swan song. I want him to stay fit, and I want him to dispense magic.
All right, I love that. Well, the next question is also for Gab. As a matter of fact, the next 2 questions are for Gab. Sorry, boys. Gab, a food question. This one's from Ben. Pat's or Geno's?
Pat's,
Philly cheesesteaks, okay.
Yeah, sorry, gotta be Pat's. I used to go there regularly when I was in college in Philadelphia, and I most recently went there during the Club World Cup, and I even purchased a T-shirt.
Okay, there you, Stevie, you're.
Oh my God!
Are you disgusted? Why? You would eat that. I've seen you eat some questionable stuff. What about this one?
Oh, that looks nice. The first one was putrid.
Yeah.
The first one looked
This is
Geno's,
This is
yeah.
what Gab's chosen. But
look at that on the left.
I
Somebody's
kind of like
just
the one with the
thrown that
relish.
off.
I like the one with the relish.
Somebody scraped that out the bin. That first one.
This actually is a brilliant question because I'm off to Philadelphia tomorrow and I have never tried a cheesesteak and I can't wait to
Well, you
try
can
one.
answer that next week. Pat's,
Right.
you have to try both.
Okay,
You
I'll
have to
try
try Pat's
both.
and Geno's.